Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. Alhamdulillah, I am fine too. So today we'll be starting a new topic from political science, that is the union government. By now I have completed 3 chapters, one from history, Christianity and Islam, one from political science, our constitution, and one from geography, our state, Karnataka. Today I am dealing with the chapter 2nd of political science, that is again the union government. Let us start. Okay. Now first let us understand what is union legislature. India has adopted the parliamentary system of government. Now here, what do you mean by parliamentary system of government? The countries like England and France have a unitary system of government where we find only union government. But in countries like United States of America, we find federal system of government or parliamentary system of government where there is union government at the central level and state government in the states. And India is a union of states, right? So all states should be looked by somebody. So to look after all these states we are having union government or central government, and to look after the particular state we are having state government. So that is called as parliamentary system. Okay. So the union legislature is called the parliament. The union legislature itself is called as the parliament, and this parliament consists of two houses, and you all are very aware which are those two houses. Let us see. The upper house is called the Rajya Sabha and the lower house is called Lok Sabha. Now let us understand what do you mean by Rajya Sabha. Okay. The number of seats in Rajya Sabha is 250. Total 250 members are there in Rajya Sabha, and out of which 238 members are elected by the members of the state assemblies and union territories. Now first of all let us understand what do you mean by union territories. How many union territories are there in India? There are 7 union territories in India, right? So these union territories don't have any state government. They are only having union government. So they are called as union territories where only central government is there, union government is there. Now state assemblies are those assemblies which every state is having, state government everybody is having, and in that state government we have MLAs to look after it. Okay, member of legislative assemblies are called as MLAs. So these members, the members of state assemblies and the members of union territories, elect the 238 members of Rajya Sabha out of 250. Now what about the remaining 12? The remaining 12 members are elected or nominated by the President of India, who are experts from various fields like literature, science and social work. Looking at their specialization in their work, experts are being elected by the President. Okay. Now, the house is also known as the House of Elders. So, this house is also called as the House of Elders. Which house? Rajya Sabha, right? The term of the house is 6 years. Means the term of office. If a person becomes a member of Rajya Sabha, his term of office is for 6 years he will remain as the member of Rajya Sabha. 1/3 of its members retire on completion of 6 years. In their place, new members are elected. So every 6 years when a member is retired, or even they take voluntary retirement also, so in their place new members are elected. Understood? Next, let us go to the next slide. Now what are the qualifications required to become a member of Rajya Sabha? Now if anybody is interested to become a member of Rajya Sabha, so what are the requirements? Let us see. Firstly, he should be a citizen of India. He must be a Indian citizen. No foreigner can become the member of Rajya Sabha. should not be less than 30 years of age. His age should be more than 30 years, not less than 30 years. He should not have been punished under law. Means he should not have any case. Okay, he should not be punished. He should not be imprisoned. Then only he is eligible to become a member of Rajya Sabha. Should not have been declared to be a person of unsound mind by a court of law. Means nobody should say that he is a person of unsound mind. Unsound mind means evil minded or criminal minded, or somebody who is not stable, whose mind is not correct, who can't think properly and all. Okay, so he should be fit and fine. He should possess the qualifications specified from time to time by the Parliament. So when the Parliament decides the qualifications to become the member of Rajya Sabha, timely it will be changing. For now, these are the things that Rajya Sabha members should require. They may again add some new things, so that should also be considered if a person has to become the member of Rajya Sabha. Understood? Okay, let us move to the next slide now. Rajya Sabha. Come on children, tell me who is he? Can you recognize him? Yes, he is the Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. And he is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay. The Vice President is the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So he is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha because he is the Vice President of India. The Deputy Chairman is chosen from among the members. So in his absence, to look after the administration of the Rajya Sabha, a Deputy Chairman is also chosen among them, among the members of Rajya Sabha. At least 10% of the members, that is minimum of 25 members, should be present during the sessions of the Rajya Sabha. So whenever there are sessions of Rajya Sabha, meetings of Rajya Sabha, minimum how many members should be present? Minimum 10% of members, that is 25 members should be present. Then only that session is eligible or it will be cancelled. The house should meet at least twice in a year. Means this house of elders, this Rajya Sabha meeting, how many times it should be held? At least twice in a year, or more than twice even they can meet. But twice in a year they have to come, they have to discuss, they have to sign bills and they have to leave. So twice in a year Rajya Sabha sessions are being held. Lok Sabha. Now let us understand about Lok Sabha, right? The members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people, so it is known as the House of People. So the Lok Sabha members are elected by the people. Elections are held and we go and vote. So these are the members who are the members of Lok Sabha whom we go and elect. We give them vote and then they become the members of Lok Sabha. And so it is known as the House of the People. The maximum number of seats is 545. In Rajya Sabha, how many members are there? Yes, 250. And in Lok Sabha, how many members are there? 545. Out of which 543 members are directly elected by the people, that is us, the citizens of India. Whereas 2 Anglo-Indians are nominated by the President. 2 such members are there that are being nominated by the President. And these are the 2 Anglo-Indians. Who are Anglo-Indians? Anglo-Indians are nobody but the person who take birth in some other country, but they come and settle in one country, that is in India, and they take the citizenship of India. Like these 2 persons are from England. They are born in England, but now they are living in India. So they became the citizen of India. And these 2 persons are by the name George Baker and Richard Hay. These are the 2 Anglo-Indians right now who are the members of Lok Sabha. Okay. 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and 41 for scheduled tribes. So you all know Dalit people who are low graded, or first before they used to be called as untouchables. So 79 seats are reserved for them for scheduled caste people, and 41 seats are reserved for scheduled tribes. So even they can become the member of Lok Sabha. The term of the Lok Sabha member is 5 years. For the term of office of Rajya Sabha is how much? 6 years, and the term of office of Lok Sabha members is 5 years. On the recommendation of Prime Minister, the President may dissolve the Lok Sabha. During emergency, the term may extend for 1 year. Sometimes what happens, there is a situation, some critical situations take place, something goes wrong, and the Rajya Sabha members, Lok Sabha members are not doing their work properly, the government is not running stably. So that time the President has to take a decision. So that government will dissolve. That ruling party will collapse, and again elections are conducted, and a new Prime Minister is being elected. So in such cases, this is done only by the recommendation of Prime Minister, and who does it? The President then does it, and he dissolves the Lok Sabha, and there is again re-election, and again members are being elected. During emergency, this term of 5 years is again extended for 1 year. If there is any emergency, we can't conduct elections, then we can also extend it for 1 more year. Got it? Right. Let us move to the next slide. Now, what are the qualifications to become the member of Lok Sabha? Like how we require certain qualifications to become the member of Rajya Sabha, even certain qualifications are there to become the member of Lok Sabha. They are one and the same. Firstly, he should be a citizen of India. He must not be less than 25 years of age. In Rajya Sabha, 30 years is the limit, and in Lok Sabha, about 25 years is the limit. Means about 25 years he should be there. Should not hold any office of profit under the government. Means he should not take any profit from the common people. There should be no bribery or corruption done, and he should not hold any office of profit. Okay. खुद के मुनाफे के लिए काम नहीं करना चाहिए. That means. Then he should not be a person of unsound mind, as I told you. He should be fit and fine. He should not be criminal minded or evil minded person. And he also should not have been punished under law. He should not be punished under law. He should not be imprisoned, and he should possess qualifications as specified by Parliament from time to time. However, the Lok Sabha, the Parliament has decided that way the qualifications will be changing. Now, Lok Sabha Speaker. There is a person in the Lok Sabha. You might be seen on a big chair, a person will be sitting, and he is called as the Lok Sabha Speaker. Now, this person is the Lok Sabha Speaker right now. And who is he? He is Om Birla, and he is the Lok Sabha Speaker. The members elected from among themselves a Speaker and a Deputy Speaker. So the members among themselves, these Lok Sabha members among themselves, they elect one of them as the Speaker and one as the Deputy Speaker in his absence. In the absence of the Speaker, Deputy Speaker will take the charge. The Speaker has to impartially conduct the proceedings of the House. Now, what is his duty? His duty is to conduct the meeting in a proper manner. He should be impartial. Means there should be no partiality whenever he is taking any decisions. He should maintain the dignity and decorum of the House. Means there should be discipline in the House. You might have seen in Lok Sabha sessions so much of screaming, shouting, fighting, quarreling will be taking place. So he should maintain the dignity of that House. He should listen to both the parties and then decide what to do and what not to do. According to the protocol, all including the Prime Minister are expected to respect the Speaker of the House. Yes, so all are there in Lok Sabha. So even head of the ruling party, that is the Prime Minister, is also there in the Lok Sabha sessions. So he also is expected to respect the Speaker, means others also should respect him. Lok Sabha Speaker should be respected by all the members of Lok Sabha. When bills get equal number of votes for and against them, the Speaker casts the deciding vote. Now, when Lok Sabha sessions are held, their bills will be passed. Means if some area, for example, some area wants electricity, in some area they want roads, in some area they want drainage system. So which is necessary, that bill will be passed first. So for passing of that bill, votes will be given by the members of Lok Sabha. When these votes tally, means they are equal, both the side. Some go for electricity, some wants roads. So I'm just giving an example, okay. So when there is equal number of votes for one thing, for example, one is wanting road facility. So for road facility, 50% of votes are there in their favor. 50% opposed. They say this is not necessary now, we want that first. So in such situations, the deciding vote will be given by the Lok Sabha Speaker. Then only that decision will be passed. That bill will be passed. The Deputy Speaker conducts the proceedings in the absence of the Speaker. So whenever the Lok Sabha Speaker is not present in the session, that time a Deputy Speaker is looking after the proceedings of the Lok Sabha. So who is this person? He is Thambidurai Karur. He is the present Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha. Understood? Okay. Now let us understand what is the role and work of the opposition leader. Who is the opposition leader? First let us understand. The ruling party is having a ruling leader. Like for example, now ruling party is BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. So the leader of that party, that is Narendra Modi, is the leader of that ruling party. The other parties rather than BJP, like Congress, other parties, example so and so, I don't want to mention their names. So they are called as the opposition leaders, opposition party. Now what is their role? When they lose the elections, they just sit at home? No, they even come to the sessions, even they are the members of the Lok Sabha. But what is their work and what is their role? Their role is to highlight the wrongdoings of the ruling government. Now ruling government is which government? BJP. They will highlight if anything wrong they are doing. Whatever wrong they are doing, they will bring to the notice of the common people. Okay, they highlight the wrongdoings of the ruling government. They examine the policies of the government thoroughly. Many policies and schemes will be started by the ruling government. They will examine, means they will study whether it is correct or it is wrong, whether it is going to happen or no. Keep the government council of ministers and officials alert. They will keep an eye on all the council of ministers. Who are the council of ministers? There are various departments in the government. Education department is there. Finance department is there. So to take care of it, many ministers are there, like finance minister, education minister, railway minister, okay, so and so. So they keep an eye on all these ministers, whether they are doing their work promptly or no, and they keep them alert. Next, has a respectable position in the legislature. They also have a respectable position in the legislature. No doubt they are not the member of ruling party, but they are member of the opposition party. So even they have a respectable position in the both the houses. Okay, understood? I hope you all have understood the lesson. It is not at all confusing. I hope you have understood it. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.